Yeah, I dressed up for this one. Hello everyone, welcome to the Ginger Snaps. Here's Month of HORROR-WEEN, Episode 3. Tonight, I just came back from the theater and watched a very specific movie. I don't know if you've heard of this. It's a sequel to a movie that came out 3 years ago that kind of rebooted a whole franchise. And maybe you've heard of it. It's called Halloween Kills, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Andy Madchak, Judy Greer, fucking a boatload of fucking other actors. And, man, a little bit hyped is an understatement when it comes to this fucking movie. Ever since the announcement in 2019 that this movie was getting a sequel, and on top of that, another sequel after that as well, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, it was, unanimous. I was going to go watch it. I very much enjoyed the Halloween 2018 film, and I was on board. And then all of a sudden a pandemic happened, and we had to wait another fucking year, right? So, I had been eagerly anticipating this movie for quite some time. Now, for all those who are wondering, am I going to be spoiling this movie right now? Don't worry about it. Like I said in the thumbnail and the title of this video, this is my spoiler-free review. So, initial thoughts, of course, I went into this movie obviously as a fanboy. I mean, fucking look at me. Like, look at me, right? I was the only one dressed up. I went with a coworker of mine, and yeah, I mean, I was told by the theater to remove my mask. That didn't last long. Now, of course, I stayed a little too dedicated because I sat through the whole movie, practically 2 hours, wearing my mask. Yeah, I'm just a sweaty fucking mess. Of course, wearing coveralls and, having your hand clamped up like this for quite some time, it fucking hurts. So I went into this as a fanboy, but also with, dire concerns that is this going to be one of those movies that, a lot of people have already reviewed and a lot of people have given it such negative reviews. Now, of course, what are my thoughts initially on this movie, okay? So, just so everyone knows, my God! 2 years worth of fucking wait. Oh my God. This fucking movie. Mwah! Fucking brilliant. Of course, a lot of people already know the story of this whole entire movie, but here, let me give you a nice little refresher. It follows the events of Halloween 2018, where it is set on the same night, and of course, we do see that Michael is still trapped in the basement of the burning house of Laurie Strode, where Laurie, Allyson, and Karen are all heading to the hospital for Laurie's wounds. And of course, the fire department does show up to Laurie's house, and someone just happens to break out. And a whole shit ton of mayhem comes down to the whole town of Haddonfield. It's no longer Michael and Laurie's story. It's definitely the town of Haddonfield's story. A lot of people were deeply affected by this. I mean, we get to see the callbacks to the 1978 film, and we do get reprising characters from Marion Chambers. We get to see Kyle Richards, Lindsay Wallace come back. Tommy Doyle comes back, but not played by the same actor from 1978. It's played by Anthony Michael Hall. And then, of course, we get Charles Cyphers as Sheriff Brackett in this movie. And, of course, I'm positive there are scenes with Nick Castle as Michael Myers. But James Jude Courtney takes up the reins as Michael Myers in this movie. Now, of course, it's no longer, like I said, it's about Laurie and Michael anymore. It's literally the town of Haddonfield. And they all band together to form pretty much a lynch mob to go after this murderer that has haunted the town for 40 years. And of course, not much goes well. When it comes to the certain pacing of the whole entire movie, of course, it's kind of like a slow burn. You have your scenes with Michael, you have your scenes with Laurie, you have your scenes with Allyson, and so on and so forth. But that's the interesting part about it, is because it doesn't just go straight into all the chaos, right? And of course, I already know a lot of people are saying, well, does the trailer ruin everything? No, not really. It didn't really ruin anything at all. I had a feeling that after when I saw the trailer that a lot of people were like, oh, well, all the kills got spoiled. Oh, trust me, no, they fucking didn't. Oh, God. Oh, God. And like I said, I'm not spoiling anything, so I'm going to be saying this right now when it comes to the title of the movie, Halloween Kills, which a lot of people are like, I don't understand why it's called that. Let me fucking tell you, it lives up to that fucking name. It lives up to that title. I'm telling you now, it lives up to that fucking title. I believe that anyone who loves Carnage Candy right now can easily say this was a beautiful fucking movie to watch. Now, throughout the whole entire franchise, we've had 2 films in particular that had a lot of Carnage Candy. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. This one, in my opinion, trumps both of them with the carnage. It's relentless. It's utterly relentless. And I cannot express enough how much of a badass Michael is in this fucking movie. I cannot believe that when I was more afraid of him in 2018, I'm now more afraid of him in Halloween Kills. And I mean, my God, Michael Myers just steals the fucking show with this whole entire movie, and rightfully so. When it comes to certain characters, even also in this movie, there is not a single dull moment where I actually did not care for a certain character at all in this whole entire movie. There are literally all these characters I seem to care about. Even like the characters are just gonna fucking die. It was just kind of like, not any of them whatsoever had a down point in this whole entire movie where I was like, okay, can you just die already? No, it never happens. And with all those character developments, of course, even bringing some of the new characters with the old, it's a perfect blend. And I can't believe I'm saying this, that it's nice to see certain characters return and have a say in what, like I said, is essentially a new timeline for this new franchise. Because you gotta remember, from Halloween's 2 to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, everything has been erased. So now it gives you a different insight when it comes to certain characters. Now, I know there's a scene in this movie that for sure pays homage to a certain flashback, but of a certain movie, which now I wonder if a lot of people are going to be talking about. I'm not going to be telling you exactly what scene, but once you see the movie, you might understand that, if something was erased, why is that scene in here? As for the score, oh my God. I had been waiting for the score to come out, the whole soundtrack to come out, ever since the announcement of the release date. And my musical app, where I've downloaded so many fucking movie soundtracks, including the Halloween 2018 soundtrack, finally came available for me to actually download at midnight of today. And my God, I have been listening to that whole soundtrack all fucking day. And now watching all the scenes with those soundtracks, it makes John Carpenter is a fucking genius. Okay? He's just a fucking genius. This is why he's one of my favorite directors of all time. He's also one of my favorite music composers of all time. You cannot sit there and say he has made a bad Halloween soundtrack. You can't tell me. And this one is definitely one of those things. And his son Cody Carpenter and Daniel Davies, I mean, fuck. You guys took something that you did with 2018 and made it such a memorable soundtrack and made this one even memorable too. And I mean, when it comes to the soundtracks of both movies, I can listen to both of them and love certain tracks. It's just a phenomenal, phenomenal soundtrack, especially for this movie. Now, I have to address this because I know there's a lot of people that are going to be really judging this movie when it comes to the Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb's ratings on this movie. I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to be as polite as possible. Don't fucking believe them. Straight up. I know there's a lot of people that even shit on this movie. Like, there's one guy who, I remember seeing a post, he says, "This is the worst Halloween of them all." Really? Have you seen Part 5? Have you seen Rob Zombie's Halloween 2? Have you seen Resurrection? You want to go there? This is the worst? Buddy, you're obviously trolling or you're just that fucking stupid. Now, I can't now in good faith, like, I know these are one of these movies where it's pretty much like, oh, you have to go see it for a second viewing to see if you'll like it. Dude, I could probably watch this movie like 5 times in theaters and still fucking love it. So when you see those reviews, you see those negativities, don't listen to them. Straight up, just don't listen to them. If you have a problem with the movie, you can come back to me. You can hit me up in the comments down below and let me know. Like, hey man, I understand where you're going with this, but I kind of don't like it for this certain aspect or whatever. But one of the one things I hate the most when it comes to the negativity of this movie is the fact that a lot of people are saying it's too gory. Really? That's your main complaint? Or people say they just hate it and they can't back it up. There's no explanation. They just, oh, I hate it. That's when I know you're a fucking troll. This movie is definitely going to be loved by a lot of Halloween fans. I mean, the rating alone for the audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes is a lot higher than the critics because I just don't believe critics anymore. I just can't. Every movie I've seen where a critic has given it a thumbs down or a certified rotten or whatever the fuck, I just don't listen to it anymore. And honestly, you guys shouldn't either. Now, there's definitely one thing that I have to address when I do a spoiler review of this. Does Michael do the unthinkable in this movie? Does he? Does he take the reins as the body count champion away from Jason? I will see you guys on the spoiler review for that one. Anyways, after the movie had ended, I was just in such fucking awe. I mean, I got out of a full, jam-packed theater, and I actually had 2 girls walk up to me and ask me for a selfie because I was in full fucking costume. I literally was carrying that fucking skull that was all bloodied and everything, and everyone fucking loved it. I was walking through the mall, everything. And, oh, I got a lot of looks. I even, like, scared a couple at one point. But, man, it's just, this is what I missed. Dressing up for a movie and getting the reactions. And this is the reaction I kind of wanted. I know I didn't get as much people, like, saying, like, oh, they want to take more selfies with me. I don't care. I don't care about that at all. It's more along the lines of, this is what I missed. And with this whole pandemic and the whole theater shutting down for a whole fucking year, I mean, I've missed this, and this was the only time I was going to go back to a theater and dress up in full costume. The last time I did this was for Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. I didn't get a chance to dress up for Halloween 2018 because, you know, Canada sucked and didn't have the 2018 masks. But I was so thankful for this movie, for me to dress up, and man, as a super fan of the Halloween franchise, I can easily say, you know, this is one of my favorites. This is one of my fucking favorites. And that's not like a whole, oh, you probably doubt yourself. No, straight up, this is one of my favorites. When I get to my spoiler review, I'll tell you exactly what place I would put it. There's not much for me to complain about. There's not much at all. I mean, like, I didn't walk out of this theater with the expression of something I didn't like. Like, I mean, like, there was, like, something, maybe dumb choices or whatever, but what do you expect from a slasher movie, right? And I can easily say this is the one Halloween movie where nothing bothered me. I mean, there was that one point where I was like, oh fuck, no, 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 no. But that was it. That was it. And yeah, I can't even, within good faith, even mention any flaws in this fucking movie. Especially when it comes to that flashback sequence. I know a lot of people are going to be probably talking about how the flashback sequence is possibly their favorite sequence of all time. Like I said, I can't get into spoilers for this one. I can't. But what I can say is, wow, they did such justice for this. I mean, everything from what the 78 film had, even little fucking things that, you know, pure Halloween fans would remember from that 78 film. They got this. They got this in strides. And I'm telling you guys, when it comes to the flashback sequence, you are going to just adore this movie even more. This is definitely one of the things that is going very well for them, was their flashback sequence. And I can easily say a lot of people who have already talked positive about the flashback sequence, I'm saying it, it's fucking perfect. Even this camera they used, it had to have been filmed. It had to have been, because it looked different. And, oh man, I was at a loss for words. Honestly, I'm at a loss for words. I just love that flashback sequence. I fucking absolutely love it. It was such a beautiful thing. Especially for my coworker who, he hadn't seen 78 in such a long time. So if I ever was to ever like show him the 1978 film, he'd probably be like, oh yeah, they got that to a T. Yeah, I'd have to fucking agree. For my ranking of this movie, this is probably going to irritate people. I don't know, but I don't fucking care. This is my review, right? This is my opinion, right? With me not being able to walk out of there with anything negative at all, nothing whatsoever negative, everything I wanted in this movie fucking happened, and even more than that, the only thing I could probably say that was maybe the problem was maybe just the dumb decisions that happened in the movie. That was all I could say. But when it comes to the ranking of this movie, it's... man, okay. Halloween Kills is getting a 9 out of 10. That's how fucking much I love this movie. 2 years was worth the wait. And every scene that Michael was in, every scene that all these characters are in, the brutality, the kills, the score, everything. There's at one point where I almost like maybe shed a tear, because it was like I thought I was never going to get to this point again. And I've arrived. I've sat in a jam-packed theater, and man, I was just so happy to be a part of that fucking ride. And yeah, I don't regret it. I love this fucking movie. I love it to death. So that's why Halloween Kills gets a 9 out of 10. So what did you guys think of this movie? Did it live up to the expectations and the hype that you fucking wanted? Is it a movie that maybe you had some problems with? Is the ending something you didn't like? Is the ending something you loved? What did you guys think of this movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure, if you like this video, to hit the thumbs up and also subscribe for more spooky content. Other than that, guys, that's it for me. This has been the Ginger Snaps Here's month of Horror-WEEN episode 3. My name is Steven, and I will check you guys out later.